Have a warm welcome to Whisky.com, where fine spirits meet. My name is Horst Lüning, and the senior taste of Whisky.com. And today we have a brand new bottle from Tomatin. It's a sherry cask, 100% sherry cask, 40% ABV, and it's priced €45.90 here in Central Europe. Depending on the country you live in and we're delivered to, probably the price might be €1 or €2 higher due to tariffs, alcohol taxes. Yeah, this whiskey matured for full 12 years in first fill sherry casks. This is a lot and delivers a big sherry influence to this whiskey. And this whiskey is from the Tomatin distillery, and this is pronounced as satin. I was taught at the distillery in Scotland, and Tomatin belonged to the biggest, if not the biggest, malt whiskey distillery all over Scotland. In 1974, I looked those figures up, and at that date they had 23 pot stills, big pot stills in 2 rows, was still spirit still, and they produced an awful lot of whiskey. Really big whiskey. They were owned by a Japanese company, and a lot of that whiskey flowed over to Japan and was mixed into their blended whiskies, and this was a very big business. And then, starting in 1979, with Margaret Thatcher as the Prime Minister, the new Prime Minister, she set big reforms into place, and this hurt the economy a lot. Those reforms were necessary because the bureaucracy and all those old labor in the United Kingdom was really annoying, and they had to change it, but they changed it too fast, and so there had been a big recession, a lot of unemployed people, and they had fire on the street and big protests. And in these, turmoil, the distillery had to reduce their production a lot, and they, went down from 23 stills, then in some steps down to 4 stills. And when I visited Tomatin in the late 1990s, I think they had those 23 stills still in place, but weren't working with them. And today, I was told, I haven't been there, they have 6 stills, 3 wash stills and 3 spirit stills still in place. The rest was sold for the copper price. And they are working with 4 and have 2 in reserve. And now they're producing quality and not any longer these big amounts of whiskies. And the distillery was multiple times sold, changed the proprietors, and now they belong to some Pacific company. And they have their own freedom to produce, and they changed over to quality. More to say in the moment, not really. And I like this bottle, this big, the label is small, you can see the whiskey glowing in the bottle. I find this very attractive in contrast to those bottles with the big labels, because marketeers have so much to tell about the whiskey that they need those big labels to write everything on it. So this is very decent here, and in the back you have these legalese as well in a very transparent label fixed to the back of the bottle. Here. The very good cork. A little hazy on top of the liquid, so it has been really tight. And there had been another pressure over in Scotland where the bottle was fixed, was closed, than here where I'm opening it. So here we go. Sherry, a lot of sherry, rich in tans, and oranges. Probably orange peel, not that sweet. No juice oranges, no. And a little bit of old leather. Yeah. Sultanas, that's very typical for sherry casks. Very rich, very full. It's just 40% ABV, so the aroma is really able to cover all that probably alcoholic smell in a whiskey, so there's no alcoholic note in it. Orange peel is growing bigger. Yeah. Cheers. A very big mouthful. This is very intense, complex. There's a little dark chocolate, a hint of bitterness of dark chocolate in it. Sweet notes in parallel. Some nuttiness coming up. This is very typical for sherry casks. And in the aftertaste, quite long, warm, and I have to say again some cinnamon, because I just had another whiskey for the tasting. I'm doing 2 in the evening, and that has this cinnamon note as well. I hope that those bottles don't influence each other. Yeah, a little bit of honey sweetness in the aftertaste. So whoever likes intense sherry cask whiskies, this is the right one. Yeah. But you have to stand a big oaky note in it. Not too bitter, not too spicy, but the oak is there. Very long. Yeah. That's it for today. Thank you very much for watching. Stay tuned. There's more to come.